Hi, thank you for taking your time to join my presentation. I am Liang Jin, and welcome to Never Stop Learning Economics. This is a diagram showing consumer and producer surplus. From this diagram, we can conclude that consumers are worse off because consumer surplus has been reduced. And what does it mean? As consumer surplus is more than consumer surplus tax. And for producers are worse off because producer surplus has been reduced. And it means that producer surplus is more than producer surplus tax. Therefore, the society as a whole is worse off since a deadweight loss is induced. And in the middle that is highlighted in purple, that is the deadweight loss. This is a diagram that a tax on imports will look like. The size of the deadweight loss in comparison to the deadweight loss in question 1 is dependent on the gradient of both the demand curve and the supply curve. Whether a tax of tariff is being introduced, the outcome is that deadweight loss is being induced. Therefore, the deadweight loss is now different from question 1 and it is highlighted in green color. So initially, the macroequilibrium is at point A, Y1, P1. After the imposition of consumption taxes, consumption falls due to a higher price level at P3. Aggregate demand curve shifts to the left, resulting in decrease in price P2 to P1 and decrease in Y1 to Y2. Since there is a decrease in AD, real GDP will be affected and GDP will decrease. This is the diagram 4. Using the sticky wage model, consumers will pay a higher price at P3, even though their wages remain the same as they take time to negotiate their new wage so as to cope with the burden of the consumption taxes. Using the sticky prices, the price firms receive is lower at P2. This equates to a rise in cost at the same time as they purchase resources at P3. All in all, firms cut back on production. The long-run aggregate supply 1 shifts to the left to long-run aggregate supply 2. The short-run aggregate supply 1 will shift to the left to short-run aggregate supply 2. Macroequilibrium moves from point B to point C in the long run. The price level is higher at P3, while output has fallen from Y1 to Y2. And as a result, unemployment increases. Therefore, there is no long-term benefits for the economy. By using directed acyclic graphs, DAGs, empirical econometric model is used to assess the health and economic growth and the consequences of Fed tax. With variable y being the dependent variable and assuming is the economic growth, variable x, which is also considered as x1, is independent variable and assuming is health. Variable z, which can also be considered in x2, that which we'll be using in the next slide, is the confounder, which is also a dependent variable. Let us assume is Fed tax. With good health, there will be positive impact on economic growth. With the Fed tax induced, the economic growth will have negative impact. Moving on. So, how did we derive that the Fed tax induced, the economic growth will have a negative impact? By using a sample size of n equals to 10, collected from different countries of the implementation of Fed tax and or related taxes in terms of percentage. In addition, we have collated the economic growth of each of the country listed and the health from Statista to ensure that the accurate data is being taken and considered. The list of countries being taken into considerations are Denmark, Hungary, Mexico, India, United Kingdom, France, Norway, Portugal, Chile, and Ireland. For the economic growth, it is being taken into consideration after each of the country implemented their VAT tax. And it is also showing the economic growth rate to see if it is doing well with the implementation of the VAT tax. So, by using the data that we have gathered, we then create a regression statistics to calculate the coefficient. And with the coefficient on the x1 and x2 variable, the coefficient is negative at 95% level confidence. And the coefficient can be seen from the left hand side of the highlighted yellow color boxes as the figure is negative. Thank you for taking your time to listen to my presentation. I hope that you have enjoyed and learned something from here. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.